Did you know that in the early 1960s, as the Bonanno crime family descended into a whirlwind of chaos and violence during the infamous Bonanno War, that Gaspar DiGregorio was right in the thick of it all? His audacious actions alongside other mafia legends shaped the very fabric of organized crime in America. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Entry into organized crime. The absolutely insane true story of Gaspar DiGregorio takes us deep into the gritty underbelly of the American Mafia during the tumultuous 1960s. Born in Sicily, Gaspar's journey to becoming a high-ranking member of the Bonanno crime family is nothing short of remarkable. He cut his teeth as a bootlegger, rubbing shoulders with legendary mobsters like Joseph Bonanno himself. But it was the Castellammarese War that catapulted him into the heart of organized crime. The Castellammarese War. There was a time when the mobsters of New York were battling for control like it was a no-holds-barred wrestling match. At the center of this mob melee was the infamous Castellammarese War, a power struggle that would shape the future of organized crime. Gaspar DiGregorio, our guy in the story, found himself smack dab in the middle of this epic showdown. The Castellammarese War, named after the Sicilian town of Castellammarese del Golfo, was essentially a turf war between rival factions of the mob. On one side was Joseph Bonanno, an old-school mobster who believed in sticking to his Sicilian roots. On the other side was Salvatore Maranzano, a young Turk who was all about business and forging alliances with other ethnic groups. DiGregorio, being the astute player he was, threw in his lot with Maranzano's forward-thinking crew. Now, imagine this. Gangsters duking it out in the streets, all vying for control of the mob's lucrative enterprises. It was a bloody, chaotic, and ruthless war. But in the end, Maranzano and his crew emerged victorious, cementing his position as the head honcho of the New York Mafia. Maranzano had more in store than just a win in this gangster power struggle. He had a vision for how the Mafia should be organized. He sliced and diced the mob into different families, each with its own boss, underboss, caporegime, and soldiers. New York City ended up with 5 families: Bonanno, Genovese, Gambino, Lucchese, and Colombo. Maranzano even crowned himself the Capo di Tutti Capi, or Boss of Bosses, though that didn't last long. This whole saga was a pivotal moment in mob history, and DiGregorio's alignment with Maranzano during the Castellammarese War played a crucial role in shaping the future of the New York Mafia. Rise within the Bonanno crime family. Now, let's fast forward a bit to see how Gaspar climbed the ladder within the Bonanno crime family. DiGregorio's rise was no accident. It was built on a foundation of trust and dedication. You see, loyalty in the mob is like gold, and Gaspar had it in spades. His allegiance to the family and his knack for getting things done caught the eye of none other than Joe Bonanno, the big boss himself. Joe Bonanno recognized DiGregorio's potential and, in a move that solidified their relationship, appointed him as a capo. As a capo, DiGregorio became a captain, responsible for his own crew of soldiers and overseeing various criminal enterprises. It's like being a CEO in the world of organized crime, and it was a position that Gaspar took to like a fish to water. But what truly set Gaspar DiGregorio apart was his close personal ties with Joe Bonanno. They weren't just business partners, they were family in every sense of the word. In fact, Gaspar had the distinct honor of being the godfather of Joe Bonanno's eldest son, Salvatore Bill Bonanno. That's like being family royalty in the mob world. This close-knit relationship with the boss himself not only elevated DiGregorio's status within the family, but also made him a trusted confidant. They say in the Mafia, your strength lies in your alliances, and Gaspar DiGregorio had one of the strongest alliances you could ever hope for. So, as Gaspar DiGregorio continued to rise within the ranks of the Bonanno crime family, it was his loyalty, contributions, and unbreakable family ties that paved the way for his success in the world of organized crime. Or was it? Now, before we continue with the video, please take a second to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click that bell icon as well. Thank you. The Bonanno coup and DiGregorio's leadership. Where loyalty often walks hand in hand with treachery, Joe Bonanno, never one to shy away from audacity, hatched a daring plan in the early 60s, a full-scale coup d'etat to eliminate rival bosses and take the reins of the Bonanno crime family. His weapon of choice? None other than a hitman named Joseph Colombo, who was tasked with carrying out the grim mission. However, in a classic twist of fate, Colombo decided that carrying out the job meant certain death for himself, so he sang like a canary to the other bosses. Joe Bonanno, realizing that he was a marked man, pulled a disappearing act in October of 1964, claiming to be kidnapped to escape his impending doom. This left the family in chaos and leadership up for grabs. With Bonanno out of the picture, the Mafia Commission stepped in and appointed Gaspar DiGregorio as the interim boss of the Bonanno crime family. But this wasn't a smooth transition to power. It was like lighting a fuse on a powder keg. The result? The Bonanno War, a full-blown mob conflict that engulfed the streets of New York City. Loyalists to Bill Bonanno, Joe's son, clashed with those who sided with DiGregorio, setting the stage for a brutal power struggle. So there you have it, a coup gone awry, a vanishing act, and the emergence of Gaspar DiGregorio as the de facto leader in the midst of a mob war that would go down in history as the Bonanno War. The peace meeting and ongoing conflict. In 1966, amidst the chaos of the Bonanno War, there emerged a glimmer of hope for peace in the form of a meeting between Bill Bonanno, Joseph Bonanno's son, and Gaspar DiGregorio. It was a chance to quell the tensions that had torn the Bonanno crime family apart. The setting? A seemingly innocuous location, the granduncle's house on Toutman Street in Brooklyn. However, what was supposed to be a peace summit led into a quickly spiraling violent confrontation that highlighted the deep-seated divisions within the family. As Bill Bonanno and his loyalists approached the meeting place, they found themselves greeted not with open arms, but with gunfire. Bullets flew and the air was thick with tension as the two factions clashed. Astonishingly, no one was wounded in this explosive encounter, but it was clear that the family's internal strife had reached a boiling point. The failed peace meeting served as a stark reminder that in the ruthless world of the Mafia, trust was in short supply, and even attempts at reconciliation could devolve into deadly showdowns. The Bonanno War raged on, and the Bonanno crime family remained bitterly divided, making it one of the most tumultuous chapters in mob history. Resolution and retirement. As the Bonanno War continued to ravage the Bonanno crime family, a turning point emerged in 1968. Joseph Bonanno, perhaps wary of the endless strife, made a pivotal decision to retire from the Mafia life. This move signaled the beginning of the end for the family's internal conflict. As part of the peace agreement, Bill Bonanno, who had been at the center of the power struggle, also chose to resign from his position as concierge and bid farewell to New York. The saga of the Bonanno crime family and the enigmatic Gaspar DiGregorio leaves us with a lingering sense of intrigue and a tantalizing question. What other gripping stories lie hidden beneath the surface of this criminal underworld? If you liked this video, then please make sure to drop a like and don't forget to comment down below which criminal activities you'd like us to cover next. And as always, my friends, thank you very much for choosing to spend your time with us today. We'll see you in our next video.